Let us carry out a brief overview of the stylistic component of the poem. Sonnet 130 is a sonnet. Excuse the tautology. His sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. There are three kinds of sonnets: Petrarchan, Spenserian, and Shakespearean. The Petrarchan sonnet is organized as an octave of 8 lines and a sestet of 6 lines. The Spenserian sonnet consists of 3 interlocking quatrains of 4 lines each and a concluding couplet. The Shakespearean sonnet comprises 3 quatrains of 4 lines each, followed by a couplet. Shakespeare's Sonnet 130 is a Shakespearean sonnet. Forgive the tautology once again. It consists of 14 lines. It is divided into 3 quatrains of 4 lines each and a concluding couplet. The poet makes effective use of various figures of speech in his poem. At the very opening of the poem, we meet with a simile, but it is no ordinary simile. It is a disrupted simile. The poet says, "My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun." Had the poet said, "My mistress' eyes are like the sun," it would have been a simile. But by positioning nothing in the middle of the line, the poet disrupts the simile and creates an effect which is exactly the opposite of what it would have been had the simile not been disrupted. So the poem begins with a disrupted simile. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. The wire metaphor in line 4 is extremely powerful. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. In line 5, the poet makes use of strong visual imagery. When he speaks of roses damasked, red and white, damask is rich fabric, heavy fabric, into which patterns were woven. Here damask is used as a verb. The poet says that he has seen red and white roses being woven into rich silk or linen fabric, that is damask. The entire poem can be seen as a satire on fellow sonneteers. The poet ridicules fellow poets, fellow sonneteers, by exposing the hollowness of the statements that they make in their sonnets. Many commentators believe that Sonnet 130 is a pungent parody of the typical Petrarchan sonnet or the typical Elizabethan sonnet. It would appear that William Shakespeare is making fun of the lesser poets of his day, like Thomas Watson and Michael Drayton, through Sonnet 130. As has already been pointed out, Sonnet 130 is a typical Shakespearean sonnet consisting of 3 quatrains of 4 lines each and a couplet. The rhyme scheme is AB, AB, CD, CD, EF, EF, GG. The meter used is iambic pentameter. Penta means 5. In pentameter, every line has 5 feet. Each foot consists of 2 syllables. Each foot is an iamb. An iamb is a foot which consists of an unstressed syllable or a short syllable followed by a stressed syllable or a long syllable. On the whole, the stylistic component of the poem reveals the touch of the master. It would be unfair on my part to wrap up my class on Sonnet 130 without mentioning the Dark Lady, because Sonnet 130 is one of the poems in which it is made clear that the Dark Lady was indeed dark in a physical sense. Sonnet 130 states that her breasts are dun and that her hair is black. So this is one of the poems in which it is made very clear that the Dark Lady was indeed the Dark Lady in a literal sense. There was a time when I was fascinated by the Dark Lady, almost as much as Shakespeare was fascinated. And I presented a paper in which I tried to work out a comparison and a contrast between the Dark Lady of Shakespeare and Maud Gonne of W.B. Yeats. But I'm getting carried away.